Hey guys, welcome back to another Happy Teach lesson, tutorial, demo, one of them. Anyway, so today I thought about let's style a list, right? So when you're styling a list, there are a lot of components that can happen in that. So let's get started in this. All right, so I just have this generic list called household chores that I pulled off of the list that I pulled off the internet. Okay, but I want to style this. Like I want to add some stuff to it. I kind of want to put it on the wall, maybe at home or what have you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to first switch my workspace. Right now, my workspace is essentials. I'm going to switch it so that we're on the same page. So I have two places I can switch it. I can go over here to essentials and I can switch it here, or I can go to window and go to workspace and I can switch it here. So the workspace that I'm looking for is Essentials Classic. And the only reason I like that workspace, I also do book as well, but Essentials Classic is because I know it'll have everything that I need to create this list. And the main thing that I like to do is I like to create my list with paragraph styles. Okay. So paragraph styles are over here and character styles are over here. So here's paragraph styles and then here's character styles. Okay. So the next thing that I want to do is I know that I'm going to use this over and over again for different things. So I want to keep paragraph styles so that I'll have something that I can refer to or that I can pull out of my library whenever I need it. So what I'm going to do first though, because I don't know what type of style that I want, I'm going to go over here to paragraph styles. Now, it's pretty simple. It's really, really easy to do. It always starts off at basic paragraph styles. Now you can actually go into basic paragraph styles and make changes there, but I always like to make a new paragraph style and leave basic paragraph styles alone. So to create a new paragraph style, here's the cool thing. It's just a plus sign. So if you click plus sign, you can create paragraph styles. But if I create this paragraph style right now, I'm going to click on this plus sign. I'm going to click on paragraph style. Notice I have this box. I have it selected. So that means that whatever I do is going to affect everything in this box. So if I go and I just get crazy, and to the left, you have this panel, which are kind of like your topics right here. And then inside, you'll have like what things that they affect, right? So we'll have like the context menu. This is the topic that I want. So if I want basic paragraph formats, this is going to give me all of the options that pertain to basic paragraph formats. If I want to do tabs, this will give me all the options that have to do with tabs, okay? But for now, we're just going to go ahead and stick with basic character formats. Font family, so I'm going to change the font family for everything. And you know what? Let's say I choose Acumen. Now, I don't see anything happening, and that is because I need to click right here, this checkbox for preview, and then I can see what's happening as I'm doing it. Now, I don't like that as much as I thought I was going to, so now I'm going to go and choose something else. I think I want variable concept maybe, and then I can go ahead and increase the size. Now, remember, I am doing this for everything to start off with because this is how I want everything to look. So if I like that, I would choose that. I don't, but I have a feeling I'm just going to go ahead and accept it. But let's see. I know that I think I know that I want a sans serif, and that means that it doesn't have the little feet. For instance, this, if I choose this one, but if I choose first Times New Roman, I have a whole bunch, but I default to those two. Uh, you know, I can also type in here if I'm looking for a font. I can type Times because I'm on a Mac. And so notice that this one has the little feet, okay, like on the L and on the R, all that. So I don't, I mean, that's not bad. I could do that. But I have my mindset right now is to do it with, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I did not mean to click on that. But also with it highlighted, I can just click on the arrow keys on my keyboard and it'll cycle through like different fonts. So actually, I think I like this one. Mahi? I don't really know, but that's the one that I like. But let me check to make sure it has bold. Yep, it does. Okay, so this is the one I want to choose for my body, and I want to see if this is the size. Maybe I want it a little smaller. Maybe I want there to be space in between, which is the leading. So I'm going to increase that just a little bit. And then maybe I want some tracking, some space in between the words, letters. Look at that. Okay, let's see. Just increase that legibility just a little bit. All right, and I have other options as well. I can play with the case. I can play with the position. Um, I can give it an underline. Why would I do that? But I could if that was the style that I wanted. I also could play with more stuff. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and leave that at that. Hit OK. And we're going to say that that's good. Now, let's just suppose now I want to make a headline, right? Another thing that I want to do with this is I want to name it. And since this is everything, I'm going to go ahead and name this one body. Or I could name it list since I know that it's going to be a list. But I'm going to name it body. Now, if I go and I make a new style, and I want this to be the heading. So I want the heading to be bold. And look what's happening, right? It's happening to everything. And that is because I have everything selected. Now, paragraph style by its name. Paragraph style means that it is everywhere that we hit that return, right? We give it a hard return, that is a paragraph. So after household chores, after sweeping and mopping the floor, after vacuuming, all that, those are paragraphs. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back to body just to make sure it's set at body. I'm going to click off here and I'm going to just put my cursor in. I don't have to highlight or anything. I just need to put it in somewhere in where I want this to affect. So this is going to be my headline. So I'm just putting it anywhere in there. I could have put it on the O, between the O. I could have put it between the O and the U. I could have put it between the R and the E. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go down here to paragraph styles. I'm going to double click, making sure. Now, if you double click on the word, it's going to change the word. If you double click on the outside of the word, then it'll open this box. But anyway, let me go ahead and say headline. Okay, and what I'm going to do is it's going to be the style is going to be based on body. I'm going to go down to basic character formats. I'm going to make this bold. I'm also going to increase the size. And maybe since it's the first one, maybe I want to change the case. So I can make it all caps or I can make it small caps. A lot of people don't like small caps, but I do. So, but I'm going to go with all caps since it's the heading. I'm also going to boost this up just a little bit more, maybe 30. Okay. And then now I can play with the spacing. So if I want spacing after the paragraph, I can go down here to edit and spacing. And spacing before is going to put the space above that paragraph. Spacing after is going to put the spacing after. So I'm going to do spacing after. I'm going to move that down just a little bit just to give it some room. I have options in here as well. Like I can actually add a paragraph border. I can add some shading if I want. I can, before they added the border, my go-to was to add a rule above and below to make some really, really cool effects. But let me show you some of these cool effects. So if I turn this rule on, right, you're going to see that a line shows up here. What if I wanted some cool effect where I had it going halfway through the word? Ooh, right? So I'm going to change the color here. I'm just going to use something basic just for now because it's just for demo purposes. And I'm going to change the weight. I'm going to bring it up. See how now I can do some really, really cool effects. So what if, so I can go with the pink, right? And if the pink is a little bit too strong, I can go over here and I can change the tint, right? So I can change this tint down to make that pink like 50% to cut it in half, but I still have a really, really cool effect happening in this. And the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go and show you how you can change that shape. So right here at type, I can make it these dots or I can make it dashed lines. Like you have options. I'm going to keep ours solid, but I just want to show you that you do have those options in there. Now, what if you're like, oh, but I don't want it to expand this whole column. I kind of want it only on the words where you have that option too. You can go down here to width. You can change that to text and it'll go just to the text. Now, what if you're like, oh, I want some additional spacing or I want to offset it a little bit? You can do that. You still have options. You can move this up here. You can move it back around where it was. So I'm going to go back to 0. You can give it a left indent. You can give it a out dent with the negative numbers. You can, I'm going to keep it at 0 because I have another option for that. but you can also give it a right indent or a right out dent. So you do have options with this. I'm going to keep it at 0 um, for now, but because I'm actually going to get rid of the semicolon as well. So, but I did want you to know that you do have options playing with that. If you want to give it a border, like I said, you can do shading. You have a lot of options in here to play with. So do not fear this panel. I really like it a lot. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my cursor out of here because if I make a new paragraph style, it's going to affect this, which will take away everything that we worked for. So I'm going to get rid of that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on out of here and I'm going to work on this body because we know that this is a list, but I want to do some things with it. Well, I need to select it for one, right? So I'm going to select the area that I'm going to make a list and I'm actually going to make a new paragraph style, even though I could just affect this. I like to keep my stuff in order. And if I ever want to go back, add some more text to this, and I want that to come in body, and I don't want it to follow the rules that I put on for this list, I'm going to want to make sure I have another one. So I'm going to click on new paragraph style. Now it put it in between, and that is because I had body selected. So anytime you have something selected, it's going to put that paragraph style right below it. Okay. So I don't want that. So I'm going to move paragraph style down. And the way you do it is just to grab it, bring it down, and I can bring it down below. And now I can name this one list. And I can go ahead and go down here. And this is where the fun begins, right? So I'm going to go down here to bullets and numbering, select that. I'm going to go up here to list type, and I'm going to select bullets. So as you look at my list right now, I have some options. I can choose to make them stars. What you're seeing is these change over here. I could choose to make it some diamonds. I can choose to give it the little arrows. I can choose a letter. But what I want you to know is that you're not limited to those. And what I mean by that, I can go over here to add. What? And now you have more options. And the cool thing is, right now it's showing us the options that are under this font, and they're not as exciting. But I do have those options of adding any of those in there, but that's not what I want. I'm going to go down here to font family. And one of my favorites that I use all the time, and that's just because it's so reliable that I know I'm going to find something in there, is Wingdings. So I'm just going to type WIN. You'll see it'll come up. Unless you have other fonts that are WIN, it should come up as soon as you type that. But if it does, just type the whole word. All right, so Wingdings. And I'm going to hit tab so that the wingdings come up. And the cool thing about this is there's just so many, and there's so many different wingdings that it is just amazing, right? So I have something I could choose. I could choose these hearts. I could choose to look at that little droplet. Like, droplets, since it's household chores, right? Droplets of water. I don't know. But I have options and I like it. Actually, I'm going to choose these droplets because I just like them. So I'm going to add those. And if I wanted to add a lot of them, I could. So if I have the um, little droplet, now I can hit OK, and then I'm going to see that the droplet shows up here. Now notice, I want you to look over here. Notice that these are the bullets. Check this out. If I click that, look at the droplet. What? Right? I know. Aren't you excited? Because I am. All right. So I have these little droplets here that I can choose, and then if I had a paragraph style, I could choose that paragraph style. Right now, it's saying that the text after would be the tab, but what I'm worried about right now is I can play with the alignment, I can play with the left indent, I can play with the first line indent, I can play with the tab position. So if I start indenting it in, I'm going to move these droplets in the toward the text. And if I go too far in, which I'm wait for it, there you go, it's going to push it in just a bit. So I'm actually going to, let me see, let me try 3. 3 is usually my golden number, but we'll see. It always depends on the size. So I actually like how that looks, but if I want to pull some back, some of this text back, I can. I can pull it back with the first line indent and see how it moves it in. See how it moves it? Yeah. So I can play with the first line indent and then indent it a little bit and then bring this out just a bit until I get it to the way that I want. So I think I like that. it looks pretty connected. I'm gonna hit OK, and there you go. So now we have our list. I could do a few other things with this, like I don't know. I kind of like it is, but I could do a few other things with this. But it's we've done the basics, and that is the basics that I wanted to show you. These paragraph styles, we created three paragraph styles: our body, our headline, our list. We've done some, really cool things with it that we want. We've also, man, I forgot all what we did. I tell you. Oh, another thing that I do want to show you. Let's suppose this frame, let me go ahead and give it I'm just filling in the stroke. And I'm going to fill in the stroke like this. So let's say I had a 10-point stroke, and that's what I want for the household chores, right? I'm going to hit W just so we can see what this is looking like. All right. Well, it's a little bit crowded, right? Because right now the H is all the way over here. Now the top isn't so bad. I do like the spacing that I'm getting from the top. But from the left, I do want to give this some breathing room because right now I'm not happy with the amount of breathing room that I have. So what I'm going to do is select this box. I'm going to go up here to Object. Yep. Text frame options. I'm using shortcut keys. I'm trying not to shortcut keys, you guys. Not yet. All right, sure. Text frame options. And then here we're going to have options for our text box or our text frame. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to mess in this area right here. But if I wanted to add columns, if I wanted to add increase the gutter, I could add that right here. And to do that, preview is on. So we just make the text into two columns. But I'm good with that like it is. What I'm going to do is go to inset spacing. And the top I said I was good with. So I'm not going to mess with the top. But I'm going to make sure this chain is linked. Because what happens is if it's linked like it is, I just linked it, then I can go and it's going to move everything together. But what it's doing is it's giving some breathing room from that edge of that type. So if I wanted to do that, that's cool. Let's say I was cool with giving it a 0p5 and then unlinking it so that I can get the rest because I don't want to move the top anymore. I just want to move this left area, right? Away from that margin. So I'm going to go to the left and bring that in. And I'm eyeballing it until I like how it looks. And right now, I like that. So I'm going to hit OK. And now I have a much neater, nicer look to this. And, I I could do so much with it. I play a lot. So, maybe I want a pink list. I don't know. Who knows? But whatever you want, just have fun creating. And that's what I wanted to show you. Make a cool, kind of cute list. I also want to let you know that there is another video that I did over on Adobe Care that I'm going to link to this video that you guys can go and check out. And that one goes over a list like this, except for it's with hearts, masking, like a lot more stuff in detail. In fact, it's like 5 tips, 5 really cool tips that you can do right inside of InDesign. So that's it for my video. If you like the video, please like it, comment, share it. If you like the content that's on here, subscribe. All of that good stuff, because all of that helps me out on YouTube and helps me create more videos. All right, that's it for today. Ta-ta for now. Until next video.